As we read from Pigafetta's writing during 15th century, according to Pigafetta's account books, the greatest and the famous clash fight encounter between the chief of MACTAN Island, Dato Lapu-Lapu and Ferdinand Magellan, named the Battle of MACTAN or dubbed Kadaugan sa MACTAN happened. When was the document written?
The document was written by Pigafetta the time when they were sailing back to Spain. After the battle in MACTAN, two ships were sailing back to Spain. The other ship was unsuccessful. The victorious ship under the command of Juan Sebastian de Elcano was the only ship left out of the 5 ships that sailed in the voyage of Magellan, which successfully arrived in Spain and was the first to circumnavigate the world.
Who wrote the document?
The one who wrote the document was Antonio Pigafetta. He was an Italian scholar and explorer. He joined the expedition to the Spice Islands that led by explorers Ferdinand Magellan under the flag of the Emperor Charles V, and after Magellan's death in the Philippines Islands, the subsequent voyage around the world. Pigafetta was one of 18 men who made the complete trip, returning to Spain in 1522 under the command of Juan Sebastian Elcano. Out of the approximately 240 who set out 3 years earlier.
How did the author know about the event?
The only detailed eyewitness account we have of the Battle of MACTAN is from Antonio Pigafetta, chronicler of the Magellan expedition, who had the habit of embellishing his tale. Antonio Pigafetta accompanied Magellan on the voyage of the approximately 240 men who set out with Magellan. Pigafetta was one of the only 18 who returned to Spain in the Battle of MACTAN Island.
Why was the document written?
In Philippine history, the Battle of MACTAN is one of the most significant events that happened. The purpose is to specifically furnish important details on the discovery of the island and people inhabiting the place. I believe he wrote it to share his experiences and journeys in Magellan's expedition to navigate the world. The document also shows us how the Filipinos were fearlessly fighting against the foreigners who conquered the country and helped one another in defending the country from invaders.
Why did the author keep the document?
Bear in mind that the context is an essential factor in order to know the historical importance of the text. The author wants us to consider what is happening in and around the time period of the historical data or event at hand to create a full picture in order for us to understand the document.
Who refused to obey the King of Spain?
Dato Lapu-Lapu, one of the 2 chiefs on the island of MACTAN, was the only one to show opposition. He refused to accept the authority of Raja Humabon in these matters. The reason that Dato Lapu-Lapu defied the king is because he wasn't able to provide the food supplies needed.
Why did Magellan come to MACTAN?
The primary goal of the Spanish conquistadors was to gather spices and other resources. However, turned into something greater in importance to spread Christianity. But Raja Humabon and Datu Zola suggested that Magellan go to MACTAN to force Datu's compliance. Magellan saw an opportunity to strengthen the existing friendship ties with the ruler of the Visayan region and agreed to help subdue the resistant Lapu-Lapu.
Did Magellan wish to fight the natives?
The captain did not wish to fight them, but sent a message to the natives by converted Moro, to the effect that if they would obey the King of Spain, recognize the sovereignty of Cebu, and pay as tribute, he would be their friend, but that if we wished otherwise, they should wait to see what our lances will do.
How did the natives react to the Spaniards?
The Battle of MACTAN happened due to a miscommunication between 2 powerful leaders of Cebu. The natives react to the Spaniards through engaging in ferocious fight as they inherently despise foreign invaders. Natives show that we must pledge ourselves to defend our freedom and independence from all enemies.
What is the main idea of the document?
The main idea of the document emphasizes the expedition of realizing the world, improving that the world is round, as well as discovering pre-colonial societies by Ferdinand Magellan. The document exposes the events from their journey across the Pacific and their arrival at the Philippines. It also introduces the native way of our life of our ancestors before the colonization of the Spaniards. This reveals several insights about the Philippines during those times. Pigafetta's document is an instrument that proves Magellan's story as it gives accurate and geographical account of the circumnavigation. The document also provides a concrete explanation on the situation and events regarding the expedition.
This drawing is the native settlement based on the reports of Domingo de Salazar. All establishments are interconnected to the plaza. The plaza is the center point of every municipality, and near the plaza, we can see the church, municipal hall, police station, market, fire station, school, and etc.